Hi everyone! Welcome to a new episode of Annijuuti Knits. Welcome back to my channel Annijuuti Knits. If you are new here, my name is Annina and I'm a knitwear designer from the west coast of Finland. And this is my channel where I talk about mostly what's on my needles, but also my new pattern releases, the designing process, and everything that has to do with yarn. So if that sounds like your cup of tea, maybe sit down, get cozy, and let's start with today's episode. First things first, what am I wearing today? If you saw my last episode, you may recall this slipover. This is the Lovi Slipover. It is a pattern currently in testing and it's to be released in early December. So it's still going to be a release for this year. And I was fixing it after a few wears. I decided that I needed to add some short rows for the hem. And I will be putting some pictures here on the screen while I talk so that you can see how it fits on me or fits me and sits on me, because I did make the bust shaving option for this one and I wasn't happy with the hem laying. It wasn't leveled, it was bowing, and I needed to add a little bit length to the front so that the hem would sit much more level. So I think it worked out. It's still not completely 100% like leveled, but I didn't want to have like such dramatic short rows that it would show. So I added about 3 centimeters of length to the front and I think it works pretty well. And yeah, this is a design that got inspiration from an old magazine from my grandmother's knitting magazine, and it was from the 1953, I think. And I just was so inspired by this white ribbed texture and I wanted to create something very classic, v-neck, and also because the fit is such an important thing to me, then I wanted to have like a really nice fit around the shoulders, and then bust shaping option if you feel like you need it. And yeah, I have been wearing it a few times, but I don't know, I'm just struggling to wear it with stuff. I'm not usually a vest wearer or a slipover wearer, and I don't know, 20 years ago when the slipovers or the vests like these like fancy vests like corduroy with some like shawl collars and those things, I don't know if you do remember those, but I was 17, 18 years old and I had a skinny waist and I was very curvy and I was accentuating my waist with those fancy vests. And I'm usually quite confident in my skin. I know I'm a curvy girl. I'm not slim to any standards, but somehow I feel very exposed, I guess. Like I usually don't like to bring attention to my midsection, so I feel like this vest I think this might just be in my own head, I know, but we all have our sore spots. And I don't know what I'm trying to say, that I haven't found a way to wear it so that I feel comfortable in my own skin, if that makes any sense. Usually I don't wear anything so close fitting, or if I do, I have like a wider pant. I don't know if it's the length, because I didn't want this to be a cropped vest or slipover. I just wanted to have like a regular length if if I'm matching it with different, bottoms, not necessarily high-waisted jeans or something. So I wanted to have like a regular length, but I don't know if this length really suits me, or if if there's just a problem in my head. I don't know. But anyway, the vest is, or the I keep saying the vest. Okay, tell me, how would you describe this kind of a garment? Is it a vest? Is it a slipover? A sweater vest? What would you call this kind of a? Because we just have one word in Finnish, and that's liivi, and that covers everything. So, so I don't know. Vest, slipover, whatever. I really love how it turned out. I don't necessarily love it on me, but I love the idea of it. And yeah, maybe I will come around and learn ways to style it so that I would feel comfortable wearing and browsing, around with this on. So that was a long-winded way to say that I finished my Lovi Slipover, and technically I'm happy how it turned out. I just don't know if I like it on me. There you go. Another finished object for today is something that was finished already last time, but I couldn't show it because I had this mystery knit-along going on, the Hurma Shawl or a knit-along, and this knit-along was hosted on Facebook. It was a commission, so I was asked to do this pattern. Are you ready for it? Are you ready for it? Tan tan tan. Here is my Hurma shawl, and this is a DK weight shawl. You already saw the thumbnail, I was wearing it, so this is quite a nice size shawl. I use them as scarves generally. This is how I wear them. I'm not much of a over my shoulders shawl wearer, so I always wear my shawls as scarves. And this one came in 11 different sections, and it's pretty easy to see where each section is. So every section is a new texture. We started with some garter stripes, slipping stitches. There was some knit purl texture, garter stripes, simple lace, some mosaic knitting, so slipping more stitches, some lace work, more slipping stitches, texture, slip stitches, and the final lace border section. And actually, now that I've been seeing a lot of different colors popping up, it was so fun to follow all the shawls taking shape. And I was thinking that this could actually be quite a nice project for like advent calendar knitting or scrappy knitting, because only the border section took with the bind off, it took 26 grams or something like that. So that was the only section that you would need more than 20 grams, but every other section uses less than 20 grams of DK weight yarn. So I think this could work really well for an advent project, and the chunks are quite simple. So yeah, if you're looking for ideas, this is actually now available as a standalone pattern. I have released it, and it is on sale until the end of the year. There's no code needed. It's around €4 with tax, so it is half of what my patterns usually are for. And there's no code, around €4, and you can get this pattern added to your library. So I think it was fun. I enjoyed working with DK weight yarn. I've been knitting up these fingering weight shawls lately, and this one, it was quite fast project to work up, so I really enjoyed it. So Hurma Shawl, it is now available, and you can grab a copy if you are so inclined. But that's not the only pattern that is now out, because I have now finally released also the Stripe Me Happy blanket. And this is the blanket pattern that I started already this spring, I think. I don't even remember when it was, but whenever it was, I wanted a scrappy project. I was so inspired by all the different leftovers, and I have been keeping up with that after this blanket as well. But this uses fingering weight yarn scraps held double, and the first few sections take quite a little amount of yarn, so like 3 grams of each color goes to the first 2 squares, and then you just keep working, alternating different stripy sections and building from center out. So you can technically make this as big or as little as you like. So I have included yardages or yarn amounts for three different sizes. This is the second size. So this is like a lap blanket size, and yeah, there's like, you can go as far as you want. There's no limit of how big or small you want to make it. And I did finish mine with just regular bind off. This is I have picked up the stitches around the blanket, and then I just bound off regularly, like slipping the previous stitch over the just worked stitch. And this created a little bit of like a tighter edge, so it doesn't get out of shape. Garter stitch is quite stretchy, so I wanted to have some sort of stability around this blanket. And yeah, so Stripe Me Happy blanket is also available now. And if you want to grab this with a little discount, I have put a discount that is valid for a week approximately. So until the 16th of November, use the code Happy Stripes, and that will give you 15% off this pattern. So if you are looking forward using up scraps or getting ready for the Advent season, then this might be something that you might want to consider. After this blanket was done, I still had some leftovers, but before I go into that, I want to show you the other version that I'm working up. And this is my son's version of this Stripe Me Happy blanket. I had a few yarns at home already, and actually now I don't have any of the actual skeins here. I just have all the balls that I've wound up. So I had BioBalance, BC Garn BioBalance, which is a cotton and wool blend yarn, but my son wasn't happy with the colors that I had on hand, so he chose also, I had BioBalance, BC Garn BC Garn Shetland, Shetland, the wool wool yarn of the same thickness, so fingering weight wool yarn, BC Garn Shetland, I would like to say that it is. So yeah, so the darker brown and the blue, the dark petroleum blue, they are both wool, but it doesn't really matter. They are the same thickness. They kind of marry happily together. And with this pattern, I am weaving in my ends as I go. So I will just snip these ends afterwards. I will wet block it and then snip the ends, but I'm not going to go back and weave in the ends. And here you can see how it kind of starts. It starts with this section, and we alternate with 3 different stripe sequences, and I think it's kind of fun. This is more muted. This is going to be a bit more elegant version of this blanket. And yeah, I am going to be working on this during December, when hopefully things are starting to slow down. So this is going to be for him. He has been requesting a blanket, and that's what he will get. I just had like a huge coughing fit. Something went into my throat, so if I'm all teary-eyed, that's why. I will try to collect myself. Maybe some dust or something went into my throat, but let's move on. So like I said, after the Stripe Me Happy blanket, I still had some leftovers. I had some smaller amounts, and I don't know about you, but I have been very like enthusiastic or very excited to use up some scraps that I have laying around. I usually collect the smallest like sock yarn scraps into a jar, and then I have these little balls and nuggets, usually collected into a basket or like a bag. And I wanted to have a project that I can use up until, so that I can use up my scraps until the last little bit of them. And I have shown this already. I started a blanket a few weeks ago, and my goal was to make a stripe a day. And this is now quite large already, actually. I'm gonna show it to you. Now it's folded in 4, like it's folded in half and then half. How do you say that? I don't know, but here it is. So last time that I showed it to you, here is my marker. I had just started, and since then I have added quite a few rows, and this is my first ever granny stripe blanket. I've never crocheted a blanket before, and I have a little bit of experience with granny squares. Maybe you remember my granny square jacket, which I never wore. But I was looking some ideas, or I was looking some tutorial videos from YouTube. I will link the video in the description that I used for this, because it was fantastic. It explained everything pretty well. And as you may see, I have my ends here, but nothing here. And that's because I am leaving my tails and I'm going back and I'm weaving them in. I'm not crocheting over them. I just want them to be secure, and I don't mind weaving in ends. And I have this goal of adding a stripe a day or 7 stripes a week, and every Sunday I'll spend 10 minutes and I will weave in these ends. So as you can see, I have already made almost, I think I have 1 more stripe to go for this week. And I think, honestly, my opinion, this looks amazing. This doesn't really look scrappy, and that's because I changed the color every row. This is 180 centimeters wide, and there's actually an amazing invention here that I discovered. You know these stitch stopper, these silicone thingies? I had bought these silicone beads from our local yarn store, and they were actually these like what's the word? Like elintarviketurvallinen. I don't know the word in English. So you can this is safe for babies when you are making these like breastfeeding beads or something like that. Long-winded way to say that I have a silicone bead here, and I am always keeping my hook attached to my crochet with just this silicone bead that I am putting onto my hook. I think this is a fantastic way to keep your hook where it's supposed to be, and I've never lost it, and it's fantastic. But what I was trying to say, that I don't think this looks scrappy, although I have been running out of yarn, even like in this last red stripe, I have run out of yarn twice. So here and here. And I am just adding in a similar color. It doesn't really matter, like here, if you are comparing these two ends, I am holding fingering weight triple or DK plus fingering or worsted weight on its own. So if I run out of yarn, and I have ran out multiple times in between rows, I'm just gonna choose something with a similar vibe. I don't care if it's exactly the same, or, you know, I'm just gonna choose something rather similar. And this way I don't change colors completely in the middle of the row, but I am like alternating colors with every stripe. So it does look stripy, it looks scrappy, but it doesn't look like frumpy, if you know what I mean. Or this is my idea of it, and I love how it's turning out. Here you can see definitely what is my color palette, because these are all the leftovers from the last couple of years, and I have to say that I'm running out of leftovers. Like, I need to knit more to get more leftovers, because this bad boy is taking up a lot of them, and I'm so happy to use up all those little teeny tiny nuggets. I've been putting everything into it, like every single thing, and I've been using some weird alpaca or cotton and wool blend yarns. They're just all there happily together, and it's fantastic. And I have been enjoying so much working on this blanket, because it doesn't feel like work. It's kind of my leisure yarny project, and we all need that kind of outlet. For most of us knitters, knitting is that outlet. But now that it's also my job, which I love, I also need something that is not related to work. So this has been amazing, and I'm actually ahead of schedule, but I'm still keeping up with at least 7 stripes a day. If I make more, wonderful. If I don't, then whatever. But I am working away, and I'm enjoying every single stitch. I have 2 more projects to show you. I have my cable cardigan. If you follow my Instagram account, you may recall that I have posted a little sneak peek of a cardigan. But before I will show it to you, I will show my snack project. I am making another Lovi hat, and this is for my godson. He has his birthday this week, and he was going through my yarn stash, like I think already last year or beginning of this year, and this is the color that he gravitated towards. I was planning on making him a pair of socks, but then I decided that I will make a hat instead. So this is fingering weight yarn, and I'm holding it double for DK, And my Lovi Hat is a, you know, rather a new pattern. If you are not new here, you've seen it, you've seen many of them because I just keep knitting them. I think it's so fun. And to be honest, I was in a bit of a rush, so I thought a hat is a, you know, it's a fast project to make. And I am actually now in the middle of attaching the brim. So I'm folding it double and I'm knitting it together, and then the brim will always stay where it needs to be. But yesterday when I was trying on this hat, I was thinking that this actually would look quite nice as a single layer hat as well, like without a brim. So if you enjoy this kind of a wide rib texture and you would like something lighter, why not just, you know, omit the fold and work until you are ready to do the decreases, which I think could be quite nice. It did actually feel quite nice on the head. But yeah, so another Lovi hat. This is a DK weight version, and I'm going to do this without the garter or pearl stripes. This is just going to be the white ribbed, like the sleek version of this pattern. But yeah, that's what I'm making with this, and this needs to be done in the next 2 days, so I will have it ready for the birthday party. All right, one last project, and this has grown a little bit. Maybe you remember last time I showed it, I hadn't joined under the arms yet, but now I have, and I have actually also added a collar twice. I did add a collar twice because first I was thinking I want to have like a garter, a neckband, and then I'm still deciding if I want to add a double neck button band, or should I do like this ribbed button band. Why is it so hard to say? I didn't like the way that the garter neck edge looked, and I did also add a lateral braid under the ribbing just to tidy things up a little. Even though this is a garter stitch cardigan with some details, cabling here in the front, I didn't go with the cable under the underarms or side seams. I went with slip stitches, and that's because I just wanted to have like a little bit of stability. I didn't want it to stretch too much because the cable portion doesn't stretch, so I wanted to have something that stabilizes the side seam so it doesn't like look like it's shorter in the front. And this cable detail is going to be running down also the sleeve, set-in sleeve construction. And what I'm planning on doing next is that I have this much yarn from this ball, so I will be adding in this amount to the body, and then I will pick up a sleeve and work a sleeve up so that I can see how it looks like. And I think the sleeve will also have the slip stitch under the arm for cohesion. But now we are in this situation where we need to decide on the name. First I thought, first of all, this yarn was gifted for this project by Villama, and they reached out to me early this year or spring, and they asked if I would like to try their yarn, and I said yes. This is 100% baby alpaca yarn, and my first instinct was that I would be calling this Alpaquita, this cardigan, because that's the name of the yarn that I'm using for this. But then I was like, it doesn't really suit the vibe. This is kind of like a little bit sophisticated. Like, it's very relaxed but refined, and little details like that polishes these, you know, edges and stuff. So I don't really feel like the name reflects on the design. So I have come up with 2 different options, and I would like you to vote. I would like you to tell your opinion, what do you think about it, and yeah. So I would love for you to tell me which one is better, and comment down in the description, or comment down in the comment section and tell me your favorite, so we get to decide on a name for this design. So my 2 options are Quiet Light or Hidden Grace. Quiet Light, Hidden Grace. Which one do you like more? Or if you have a better suggestion, something that echoes the same theme, this kind of like polished but relaxed, something like that. If you have something in mind, feel free to leave your suggestions also below, and I'll keep working on this because I am very excited to see how it works out. This is going to have like a set-in sleeve construction, so it looks very small, but let me assure you it's not. It's going to have like a proper set-in sleeve, and I actually already did some bust shaping. So I did the horizontal bust shaping. Maybe you can see it here. I just wanted to add, I think it's actually pretty invisible, but it's there, and I wanted to have so that the front hem doesn't, you know, pull up. So yeah, I'm going to make this into 10 different sizes, from 29 inches to 64 and a half. So with the recommended ease of 0 to 10 centimeters, 0 to 4 inches. So that's what's coming up. I am just slowly chucking along and working this up, and I have no idea when it's coming or when I will be getting it to testing, but we'll see when it's done. One thing I wanted to say, this is now at gifted yarn, because my friend Cindy from Knits by Cindy Ekman, she has been working this secret for 2.5 years now, and she has finally launched a yarn line. She makes these amazing knitting accessories, and I use them a lot. And now she also has her own yarn line, and I got to choose a sweater's quantity from her line, and I'm going to turn it into a sweater like next year. And these are the yarns that she has. She has such a beautiful color range, like this classic, very tasteful, beautiful, soft, plushy colors. And I chose the color Bark, I guess. Where does it say? Yeah, this is the color Bark. So this is kind of like this cool brown, and she has this pure merino and soft silk mohair, and they are divine. They are just like, yeah, I'm really impressed. I'm not saying this because she's my friend. I'm not saying this because this was gifted, but because I truly, if I would see this in a store and I would feel it, I would grab it for sure. So these are going to be a sweater at some point, and then I grabbed 2 balls of the DK weight yarn that they had, and this is her Alpine Merino, and this is an alpaca merino blend, and this was the colorway something pine forest. I don't know how the colors are showing up. It's not very great lighting, I guess, but it is a interesting green. It is very, very dark green, but it leans towards brown. Sometimes it leans towards gray. It depends on the light, but it is essentially a very dark green. And I have a hat project in mind. When I released my cloud weave scarf, I wanted to use that same stitch pattern for a hat, and this is going to be now the hat to match my cloud weave scarf. And that, my friends, was everything that I had for today. If you manage until... Hey, it's editing me. I completely forgot to tell you one thing. I had wrote it into my notes, but hey, when have I ever read my notes? I had one more thing I wanted to share. I did briefly mention that I'm doing Vlogmas, and I am also doing another secret or another mystery knit along, and this is going to be a silver frost knit along, and it's going to be free. It's going to be hosted here on YouTube. You get a new clue every episode, and this is just a little teaser that there is something exciting coming up. So if you are interested, I will be talking about it more in the next episode, but it's already November and time's flying, so I just wanted to give you a little heads up and maybe plant a seed if you have, or if you want to have something exciting for December. So this is to come. I know Vlogmas is not for everyone, but there's going to be also something else to look forward to. And thank you so much for the warm welcome for my shadow line sweater. This has been my uniform since since I finished this version. It's the perfect sweatshirty kind of a vibe. It's nicely oversized, and although I said that I don't know if I said it here, but I was toying with the idea that I would gift this version to my sister for Christmas, but hey, I cannot part with it. I cannot part with it, and I've been wearing it like every day since it was finished. So this one's definitely mine, and I've been living in it. Yeah, that's all. If you managed until now, thank you so much for joining today, and thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate each and every one of you following my journey. So thank you for spending this time with me, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye!